This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Thursday, May 5th, 2017. The title of this rant will be Religious Freedom Equals Legalized Discrimination. The press has been hyping about a big bill on healthcare today. James Comey did yesterday all the Russia stuff. But something's going to go on today that's very significant. In the White House, maybe in the Rose Garden, in the Oval Office, Mr. Minority will sign an executive order basically allowing individual people, organizations, not-for-profit corporations, institutions, for-profit institutions, to claim religious and moral objections to, most basically, LGBT people. So they can claim religious and moral objections to same-sex marriage, LGBT people, anyone who may have had an abortion, anyone who may have been engaged in premarital sex. All right, and this is what I call hating at its highest level, and we'll get into that in just a second. But if you even extend that out a little bit, okay, I have a religious and moral objection to serving black people. I have a religious and moral objection to hiring anyone who is black, who is Hispanic, who is East Asian. I'm only going to hire white people who are Christians. Even though I'm a for-profit company and I serve everyone that's out there, so to speak. So this could be used against people of color. Now, the thing is, again, they say that their belief, or whatever it is that they believed in for whatever reason, if it violates what they think is their conscience, that they have a right to discriminate against all of these people. Now, from a technical standpoint, I'd like to think that we are years away from that type of thing still coming up, but obviously we're not. It's a long way from the late 60s and early 70s when I was a teenager and would hear all of this bigotry about it, and a long time since we've really come to the conclusion that, hey, I shouldn't even say conclusion, but that as a nation we have gone well past that. And of course, it will be fought immediately in the courts. The ACLU is already geared up to go right to court to go against that. And I remember a young lady, I know her mother, she posted on Facebook a couple months ago that she was contributing to the ACLU. Basically, and I was just so proud in a sense, that you saw what was going on. You're not necessarily a political person, but you know that this would be a group that would be worthwhile to invest in, so to speak. Now, they're going to go, the ACLU and all of these other organizations are going to go against it in terms of two amendments to the Constitution, the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. Let's just say, I don't want to go into all of the things about that, but they are standing on very strong legal ground and legal precedent. We'll have to see what happens as it goes through the courts. But let's get to the bigger issue. Why is this going on? Well, you have a guy like Mike Pence, the vice president, who is governor of Indiana, signed a law, the same type of law against LGBT people and everything. The corporations in Indiana had a huge backlash against that. Huge backlash. That law was cut down, seriously cut down, or completely eliminated within a couple weeks after that. Of course, Pence said that this law didn't say what it meant at all, but just in reference to these people, he was going to cut it back, etc. They tried to maintain that they really were in the right about this at the same time that they were cutting back on it. But let's get back to what it really is. White evangelicals, Pentecostals, Catholics, whoever you want to say, bigoted people who want to instill hate, then the reason is they want to say that the Bible is 100% true. So everything in the Bible that they believe in, not necessarily what's just in the Bible, but just those things that they believe in are true, and it gives them a right to discriminate. And if I remember correctly, it was the letter from the Birmingham jail in 1957 where Martin Luther King wrote a letter to the ministers in Alabama, basically saying, you're bastardizing the Bible in terms of racial hatred against us. And of course, that was being used in the 1840s and the 1850s, not only the 1940s and 1950s, still being used today. Again, they have to have some type of person that they want to have a fall guy against. They're using it strictly for hate and using it for power, and you're obviously using it for money. They would like nothing better than for LGBT people to just go the hell away. And of course, that's not going to happen. Again, another thing that Mr. Minority, and of course, Mr. Minority is doing it for votes. He knows that this is part of his big base. Again, religious freedom in this instance is equal to legalized discrimination. Must resist, must go after this forcefully, in 100% agreement with the ACLU and every other organization that's going to go against this. And it will be filed hopefully this afternoon if this comes about today.